Hey, yo, more than 95% of you guys ain't subscribed, dog. Just subscribe, bro. It's just one click of the button. It helps me, helps you, so I can put out more content. Thanks. Right. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Shit, easy views. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. But like, I wanted to make a tier list because, well, I've been playing the game a lot, pretty high level. I've gotten to high ranks too. I've gone on multiple win streaks, been winning a lot in the game. And I want to make a tier on like the best characters in the game. And I think I should make a tier above this tier, no cap. I should probably make a tier above this tier called SS tier, because there's some characters that are just straight up like a character is good enough to be an S tier, but there's a character better, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I'll move that down. How do you make an extra tier? Okay. Oh, add a row above. Call it S. There. Oh. A. S. Okay. That's all that I wanted to do, make an SS tier. Because the reason why I want to make that tier is because this character and this character are far and away better than every character in the game. The only character I can see on their level would be Todoroki, but the problem is his movement compared to these two ain't shit, bro. Like, because he only has a flat angle movement. His movement ability is just straight to one point. It has no up or down. It just goes straight. Even if you use it off of a building, you have to use it while falling onto the ground and then it will activate. You can't use it on the building and start sliding down. No. Like Bakugo, like he can do as much damage as these two. In fact, he can probably even do it more consistently, because if you land the freeze, you can get like a whole true 400 damage that they can't even do anything about, and he has a shield. The problem is the fact that they can get to high ground, they can go anywhere, they can just shoot you from anywhere. They have some of the best escaping in the game with the best damage in the game. So like they can just escape, they can come in and kill him. Like, you have no ways of running away from Bakugo and Deku, bro. Like, if they want you dead, you're dead. Like, that's how it feels. Like, if they want you gone, you're gone. Next, I'm gonna give it to I'm gonna put him in this tier. The reason why I don't want to, he has a very good ability as in his dash, but the problem with his dash is like you can hit it and it will do stupid damage if you hit it, but it has a force movement. It has good movement too. It has like a force like angle you can take. It's like you can't do it too close because sometimes it'll just not go onto the person, but his dash is really good in certain situations. Like certain situations is good. I don't know if he's as good as Todoroki, but his damage output is pretty much there with Todoroki. Next is Hangirl. Her shield is like honestly fucking godly. Her shield is godly, but the problem is her damage and how she can get her damage. She can throw rocks to get damage, but like her main source of damage is getting close and clapping you. That's like 200 damage right there from one clap. She can keep throwing the rocks, but like there's just better projectile characters. All these other characters are just better. Her shield, if we're just basing it off her shield is up here, bro. Her shield is disgusting. Her shield is godly. I can't even like explain to you how good that shield is. It is beyond god tier. That shield is like, oh my, because you put that up, you can basically free res anybody. Like you can free res anybody if if you have two teammates, one is down and your other teammate just comes in and res them, because it's like super hard to get up off that shield because you can't pierce it. Bakugo is like one of the only characters that has a piercing shot, and you can't pierce it because Todoroki has the same barrier thing, but Bakugo can pierce it. Like Deku can't pierce it, Todoroki can't pierce his own thing, like everyone else can't pierce it but Bakugo, but you can't pierce her barrier at all, which is really good. Her plus Vine Girl is like a disgusting comp, or her plus Todoroki is a disgusting comp, because if you work together you can instantly kill anybody. Like you can TOD any character from full health. Todoroki lands one shot, he then slams the ground, he shoots one time, and then you clap. That's enough to kill at high levels. Yeah. Some people think Cementos' damage is bad. don't get me wrong, because you throw it and then they get flinged away. You throw it, then you get flinged away. You have to like keep throwing it at them, yeah, which is bad. But what he makes up for in damage, what he lacks in damage, he makes up for in utility. His utility is god tier, bro. Being able to instantly res teammates from afar, because other characters, she can instantly res a teammate. Tsuyu can instantly res a teammate. But what he can do is, oh, my teammate's down. Oh, in the middle of his fight while he's playing fucking Fortnite Battle Royale, slams on the ground. Oh, teammates back up instantly. And like him, plus Dabi is such a disgusting comp, because what you do with him and Dabi, because a lot of people go for the finish because his team is distracted. I can go for the finish. My shield is low. I need to get I need to get my shield. They go for the finish. Dabi activates his ability, does damage to them, and then you res him immediately, and then Dabi can kill them again. Like, I've seen that happen. I've actually done it with people where I let them, I bait them to come onto me because, well, whoa, pause, major pause. I bait them to come at me and get the finish, and then I use my Dabi ability, and then my teammate immediately reses me, and it's just straight. I get a free 100 damage on them. So when I come back, they're low because we were just in the middle of a fight, so they're already low. All I need is like 1 or 2 shots, and I just win. That res is so good. That res clutches up so many fights, because if he reses you and the team is not looking at you anymore and they're looking at him while he resed you, you have enough time to either pop a heal for yourself, or if you have a team heal, you can pop a team heal, which is really good. Because what I like to do is, if I have team heals, I make my 2 teammates go in and fight first, and I just stay in the back watching until they're getting low. I start drinking the team heal, boom, they're back up, and their opponents are just like, what the fuck? And they just keep going, and I drink another team heal, boom, they just keep going, and it's just like, what can we do? He can do that. He can play like that. He's like the best character at playing that tactic, which is very scummy. You give him all the team heals, you're gold. You're fine. You're cooking. Dabi's problem with Dabi is, like, he can do some major damage, but the problem with Dabi is how slow his projectiles are. Like, he can hit hard. His projectiles have tracking, which is really good. Having tracking is really good at close range encounters. Dabi's like really good at close range encounters, but the problem is he has no way of getting in. His movement is terrible. He has literally no movement abilities at all. The character's movement is terrible. He has tracking shots, which is really good because they're tracking. They do good damage too, and they proc burn, which deals direct damage to your HP bar. It goes through your shield. Even if you have full shield, it will go through your shield and do direct damage to your HP bar, which is really good. But it's just that it's so slow. Like, why would I use Dabi when Bakugo can do way better damage, has way better movement, and has range? Denki, ooh, Denki. A good Denki player is like up here, because like you can just keep repeatedly stun somebody. You can have like traps set up, so like basically while you are 1v1ing someone, they are just being stun locked the whole fight while you're 1v1ing them. You can have that. Like, if they have good movement abilities, they're just gonna get out of it anyways. But like, I can't give him S. I can't give him S. He's just not as good as everyone else above him. Tsuyu though, I'm gonna give her S. Tsuyu is really good in this game. Froppy is really good. Her movement is like second to none. Uraraka, like, her movement is on the same tier as these two. If you fight in any building areas, which a lot of the areas have them, like there's 3 areas on the map that has a bunch of high ground areas. Tsuyu just becomes God. She just becomes God. I don't know what to tell you. She literally just becomes God, because she could just all around the building. You don't even know where she's at. You're just like, where did she go? And then she goes invisible while they're there, and you're just like, huh? Then all of a sudden, one of her teammates are revived. You're just like, what? Her damage is good too. She's a close range fighter that can get in close really quickly and do good damage. Of course, she's not doing as much as these characters because range attacks are broken in this game, and they need to get nerfed. Like, they need to drop what range attacks, not doing damage, but make it so after 3 hits of a range attack, just like melee attacks, you fall on the ground. That's what they need to do. I know melee attacks stun you, but like Range attacks sort of stun you, but they do super damage. Bless me. Tsuyu is just, her escape ability is good. Her instant revive on a teammate if she's close enough to just put the tongue on them and just instantly revive them. That's really good. Like, instant revives are just really good to have. Like, especially if they're freer to get. His instant revive is better than hers, but her movement is just godly. Of course, he has text of movement if you're like good with placing his cement down, but Tsuyu's movement is just godly. Who else? We got Ida. Ida. He's an Ida. I'm gonna put him in A. His damage, his escaping is really good. Well, his damage is not that good because against melee attacks are way worse than range attacks, because range attacks don't make you fall on the floor, while melee attacks do force you to fall on the floor. If melee attacks didn't force you to fall on the floor, he would instantly jump up here. He would, if that's what happened to melee attacks and he got buffed to that, he would be up here. That's how good he would be, because his damage and his tracking would be second to none. Like, if he can combo, if he was allowed to, even if they buffed it so melee attacks only drop you after 4 hits, he would be the best character in the game for free, because he would instantly be able to do guaranteed 400 damage at high levels that you cannot get out of. You are hard stunned into, and you are forced to take. That's why melee attacks are nerfed like that. Because I partially think it's mainly because of Ida. Because if Ida was given that leeway, his damage would be second to none. No one would be able to catch up to his damage, because you wouldn't be able to fight back while he's able to hit you. That's how broken it is, because he's gonna be able to beat your ass while you can't beat his ass. You just looking at your ass get beat. But since they don't work like that, he has to drop down here, because his highest damage combo is literally you press your mouse 1 into his Q, which is the dash kick. That is his highest damage combo, because if you do anything else, it will drop. If you do 2 M1 kicks into the mouse kick, it will drop, forcefully drop. If you do M1 into kick, another one you can do is 1 M1 hit into 1 mouse kick, into, that's his highest damage combo. 1 M1 hit, like you're not M1 hit, 1 melee hit, then his mouse 1 hit into his Q. That's his highest damage combo you can get, and it's still like at max levels it does like what, that combo you have to do does as much as 2 Bakugo shots at max level. Like, you see the problem here. It does as much as 2 Bakugo shots at max levels. Bakugo can hit you twice and do the same amount of damage as Ida, but Ida has to wait for you to get back up, which you have invulnerability frame, so you can attack him as soon as you get back up, which is disgusting. He can't do anything against that. Another character that is I just don't know, man, because this character, he straight up nullifies range characters. He can just straight nullify their range attacks. If you can pick up one of your teammates and literally just put them in as a marble and they can't get hit, and you can just throw yourself as a marble and get out of there, which is really good. But like I can't see him being better than Cementos. Like, his damage is lackluster. He could do pretty decent damage. His damage is lackluster, but he has the hard stun thing too. I just can't see him putting him in A, but I don't see him as bad as Dabi. Like see, I think I see him as bad as Dabi. I'm not gonna lie, I think I see him as bad as Dabi, because he has range attacks. They're faster, but like the grabbing your teammate with the marble thing only works if you have comms, and even then it's like not as good as Ida grabbing his teammate when they're down or something, because like what you're gonna mainly want to do is grab them while they're alive and then throw yourself as a marble, but the marble doesn't go far. It doesn't go that far. Like, the range attacks will still be able to hit you, so it's like, it's honestly, yeah, he's the only reason why he's up here is because he can nullify all range attacks while you're aiming. He can just reflect it. Mount Lady. Mount Lady deserves S because I think she's like honestly better than All Might and all of them. Mount Lady in not even in the right hands. Mount Lady, if you save her giant form and you play more campish, you get like sneak kills. You save her giant form for last circle, you become virtually God because no one's gonna stop you. You're too big. Depending on the area of the map, you just keep stomping down people, and your range attacks don't do stun, but they have big AoE. So you, unlike you know how Ida, when you after 3 hits, you fall on the ground. That doesn't happen with Mount Lady. You just keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, and they just forced to take brutal amounts of damage and just get destroyed. Of course, you have a bigger hitbox, but you have a lot of damage reduction. It's not like some small level damage reduction. If you're at full health and you go into that form, you have insane damage reduction, especially if you run Mount Lady Deku. The best comp is for Mount Lady is Mount Lady Deku, because you get the extra damage reduction, and then you run Mount Lady Deku Bakugo, or you run Mount Lady Deku Suyu, or someone who can sustain. The best damaging comp for her would obviously be having 2 other damage dealers, but I feel like having Mount Lady Deku and Bakugo as a team is disgusting. You will probably win every single match if you have those 3 as a team. The reason why is because Mount Lady gets the extra damage reduction from the defensive passive, and then she gets the extra attack from the DPS passive, which then makes it so, oh, I go into big form, you're dead. I see anybody who's on the ground, if you don't have Bakugo level movement, Suyu level movement, or Deku, even Deku level movement is getting caught. His movement is really good, but he does have like some end lag in his movement. Like if you don't have Bakugo level or Suyu or even a Ochako level movement, you're cooked. You're cooked. Todoroki, I've been able to escape sometimes with Todoroki, but like that's just because like the forest area, she like lost sight of me because someone else started attacking her, and they just didn't focus. When you're going to the huge form, what you need to learn is target focus. If you learn target focus with Mount Lady, you're cooking everybody. Because if you don't have target focus, you know what's gonna happen? You're gonna keep directing your shots everywhere else. You don't need to. Your character literally does not need to do that, because your character can just keep hitting someone repeatedly and they're just forced to take it. She's so good. Ochako, I'm putting her at A tier. She's not as good as the S tier characters. The reason why I say that is, of course, she can do really good damage if you catch them into the stun circle. They're cooked. They lose. Because if you have any of these characters and you have any comms, any of these range characters right here, the enemy is cooked, because you'll be able to hit them while they're able to hit them. Like, what you do is you say, oh, got them. Your teammates immediately look. They shoot like 3 shots. You shoot like a shot, 1 shot, and then you immediately slam them onto the ground, and that will instantly erase someone's health bar, which is really good. But the problem is landing that shit, it's inconsistent, because most people are just gonna dodge out of it because it has enough startup for you to dodge out of it. So, which is good, because I'm not saying they need to buff that skill. They shouldn't buff that skill. I'm just saying ranged characters damage need to get nerfed, not buff her skill. Don't buff that skill. If you buff that skill, she's going to become overpowered. If they reduce the startup on that skill, GG's. She becomes instantly SS tier. Like, you want to thread on my ideal is every character being at A tier, because S tier means that they're slightly broken. Something's broken about them. A tier means that they're just neutral. They're really good characters. They have really good everything. They're just like neutral. SS tier means that they need to get nerfed immediately. They need to get nerfed now. So with A tier, she's completely fine. She can win match. She can carry matches. She won't carry matches as hard as Deku or Bakugo, or even the reason why most people don't know about All Might being goated because they don't have him, because they didn't spend all that money. But All Might is him. He is him. So don't get this twisted, because I put All Might in S tier and you have no playtime with that with All Might. All Might does damage, and with certain team comps, All Might Todoroki, like All Might Vine Girl, All Might Ochako, you catch them in a grab, they're cooked. They're cooked. Catch them in a freeze, they're cooked. Same thing with Shigaraki. Shigaraki, the only thing holding him back is the fact that he can't just aim straight up. That's the fact that's the only thing holding him back. The fact that he can't aim straight up. If he could aim, because he does as much damage as these two. His damage output is as high as these two, but the reason why it's more balanced is because the fact is it's on the ground. You have to be on the ground to take that damage. If you're in the air flying, he's not hitting you. All his damage is on the ground, which honestly, like I would put him down if there was more characters like Deku. Like there's only like literally, yeah, and also Cementos, but there's not many characters that are not on, oh well, All Might as well, that are not on the ground. And but you never see All Might because, well, most people don't have him. You see a bunch of Bakugos, which that could put him down for now, but like his damage is just so good, especially Final Circle. Final Circle, if they don't have high ground, if you can't get high ground in Final Circle, he wins. He just wins because his damage output is insane. It's higher than these two. It shreds higher than these two, but like it's just all on the ground, which is kind of bad. But at the same time, most of the time you're on the ground fighting, like, so it's like it's not like that. The only time it's really bad for him is when like the opponents can easily get to a high ground area, which sometimes he's just cooked. Or he can just like hide in and get on the high ground as well. But like the high ground really cooks him, bro. So yeah, I can't. But his damage is so good. I don't know, A or S, bro. I personally want to put him in S. But he's most likely probably going to be an A, because even though his damage is like, it's really good. His damage is really good. I think at max level, one shot of his is like almost the same amount of damage as Bakugo. I think almost, yeah. One shot of his is almost the same amount of damage as Bakugo. He has a force grab, a dash grab, which is really good movement. It gives him good movement, and it's a grab, a command grab. You just, and they can't do anything about it. now the character that I think a lot of people in the MHA fandom like, Toga. Toga's damage output is really fast, but really low to balance it out. She can transform into every character, which makes her really good. So the problem with Toga is she's depending on the enemy comp. Toga has good damage, as in that swirly dash move, the same one that Kirishima has, but I think hers is slightly faster. But the problem, since it's slightly faster, it also is a lot harder to control. But you can do really good damage with Toga quickly. But the problem with Toga is like, imagine everyone else has auto snipers that don't need to be aimed. She's running around with an AK. The problem with Toga is that you have to track your opponent when you're playing as Toga. Until you change and transform into your enemy, which also provides a stun on the enemy. You change and transform into your enemy. She is now just basically shooting an AK rifle in a game where a lot of people have good movement and a lot of people do really good damage quickly. Like, she will get incinerated quickly because, well, her damage is so lackluster unless you're literally able to completely track your opponent in a game that has good movement. I highly doubt it, especially that the rolling, like just simply dodging left and right against Toga makes her so irrelevant. it's like so hard because the tracking with her is like, you probably don't understand what I'm saying. The tracking with her, even though the bodies are big, is insane. Because first of all, you gotta account for buildings, structures, everything. Because there's a lot of structures on the floor. There's a lot of things you have to get through. On a majority of the map, there's a lot of high and low areas. There's a bunch of random rocks and random houses and stuff. So like, you can't consistently get damage if your opponent knows how to dodge. If she's fighting a Todoroki, a Deku, a Bakugo, she's cooked. Even a Mount Lady, she's cooked. An All Might, she's cooked. A Suyu, she's cooked. Like, she's cooked. But if she learns how to play and learns how to transform, like, because first of all, playing Bakugo is not easy. It's not hard. Like, playing Deku is not hard. Playing Todoroki is like, if you don't know how the moves work, it feels harder at first, but once you learn the moves, like literally after one game of learning how the moves work, it becomes like clockwork, easy as fuck. Mount Lady, Mount Lady is pseudo hard because if you just transform into big while you're at low medium health, you're cooked. You basically killed yourself. All Might, if you don't know the tracking, it's like kind of hard. If you don't know how his moves track, it's kind of hard. Tsuyu, if you don't know how her moves work, it's kind of hard. But like these two, which are like the most prominent characters to run into, Deku and Bakugo, like the odds of you fighting a Deku or a Bakugo is very, very high. So it's not hard. If you know how to transform into those characters, you know how to play these characters, you automatically as a Tsuyu player just go up to S. If you know how to play, but the baseline is you need really good tracking, and you need to learn how to play every other character, which that's a problem because a lot of other characters are very easy. So it's easy to learn them, but a lot of other characters are just easy to play in general. So like, why would I pick Tsuyu? Not Tsuyu. I mean Toga. When I can pick Tsuyu, why would I pick Toga when I can pick why I say Itadori? Todoroki. Why would I pick Toga when I can pick Bakugo? Why would I pick Toga if I can pick Deku? Why would I pick Toga if I can pick All Might? The problem is because then I'm gonna have to learn how to. To play Toga, I literally need to go to the practice range and play every single character, learn their moves, learn the best damage combos you can get with every single character, which you don't have to do with any other character, and they still get really good damage. But while Toga, you have to learn that, and her dash attack move, we've already seen, that shit is ass. Bakugo, Deku can easily run away from it. Todoroki can also run away from it, or just, oh, you're coming at me? I stomp on the ground, you're frozen. And now I just keep shooting at you. Idiot. Like, or All Might, oh, I'm just gonna jump away. Tsuyu, oh, I'm just gonna Spider-Man swing away. Mount Lady, she doesn't really have a escape tool, but she can just get big and beat your ass. If you try to do it, she can just get big and beat your ass, or she can just straight up beat your ass. Hand Girl, even if you try that shit against Hand Girl, she's gonna put up the shield, you're gonna get stunned, and then she's gonna clap. Because the shield, if you hit it with a melee attack, you get stunned. Like, you get hard stun. Any melee attack against the shield, like the shield girl is really, that's what I'm saying, like her shield is god tier. You use her shield at close range when you think someone's going to use a melee attack at you, immediately they get stunned and you get a hit. It's super good. Honestly, I'm convincing myself to put her even higher, but just kidding. But like Toga is just like, you have to learn all these other characters, but all these other characters are already broken from the start. While Toga can become the broken, they're already broken. So by the time you become them, they've probably done a lot of damage to you, probably already killed you. Like, it's so easy to kill people in this game. You get incinerated in this game. You run into like a Bakugo, a Todoroki, a Deku, an All Might. You're probably getting incinerated immediately. Then it goes into my next character, and I'm gonna have to put him at D, bro. Why am I putting him at D? He's really defensive. That's really good. But the problem with him, he has no range moves. His whole kit has no range moves, and his only way of getting in is the Toga dash, which the Toga dash is kind of mid. The Toga dash of just swinging and going straight in, that's kind of mid, because by the time you get in, they've probably gotten like 3 shots on you, 4 shots on you. Like, the amount of times I've seen them try to get in on me, and I've had like 3-6 shots on them by the time they breach me, and they're just dead. He has no way of getting in a game that has multiple range characters. Like listen to that. He has no way of getting in as a melee character in a game that has multiple range characters. He's automatically useless. He's automatically useless as hell instantly because of that. He's range character, has range moves, range character, like almost the whole game, range character, like, well, not really. Like, almost the whole game has range move. The reason why Ida is usable is because his movement is just, oh, oh, you're a ranged character, I'm dashing, I'm pressing my mouse one and jumping all across the map, and you physically can't even track me. I'm just over here, and then when I catch you, you're force stunned. Him is like, oh, I'm running at you, dog. I'm running at you, bruh. Get ready. I can't be stunned. I can't be stunned. Oh yeah, that too. He can't be stunned, which is really bad. Not being able to get, so he just gets shot and just cooked. Not stunned. I mean, he can't be like stopped, like eat a drop thingy, which is really bad for him because he just becomes free food. On the other hand, we got Momo, S tier, instant S tier. This character is just straight up bad, and he needs buffs. His damage needs to, what they need to do is just make his damage astronomically high, or just nerf range damage. Like, that's all they need to do. Nerf range characters damage. Range damage is too much for how free it is. Momo, there's not much to say about Momo. She's just really good. She got a good shield, got the mortar, she can drop a heal item with her R, like, for the whole team, which is really good. That, like, just being able to carry heals, especially in like late game, when like you're in multiple fights and let's say you run out of heals, and because you've been getting jumped, and you guys have been able to escape, and you can just drop the bag, pick it up for your team, and you cook. And her shield is really good. Her shield stops all ranged characters. The only one it doesn't stop is like All Might and Todoroki, because you can just dash around her. You can put your ice wall in front of her so she can't even do anything, or you can just press the freeze, and sometimes the freeze will just go through her shield dash for some reason, even though it's not supposed to. Sometimes it just goes through it, which I think is a bug. So until that bug gets fixed, even like the matchup against Todoroki is really bad. The matchup against Iida is bad. The matchup against Denki is bad because she'll get stunned. The matchup against him is bad because he can just put like on the ground, could put on the cremation on the ground, and she dashes in and starts taking a bunch of damage. It's not worth it. The matchup against her is really bad because she can just put up her shield, and if she gets in too close, she's just gonna kill her, even though she has really good damage for when she's close. Matchup against him is also bad because he can just Fortnite his way out of it. I'm just nah. Her matchups, some of them are bad, but if you catch anyone lacking, you pretty much win. Like, you pretty much win that fight. They can't do anything against that. A person who's caught lacking in all the mortars, she can put out a mortar and a cannon, which are really good. The mortar and cannon helps her range a lot, and also she's a support character, so you know she gives you the support passive, which is honestly a slept on passive because it's really good. Because it's not the most, I would say out of all the passives, the most useless passive is the extra movement speed, because it's not high enough. Like, the movement speed is not high enough because of how fast you can shoot in this game. Tank passive is #1 passive in the game because taking less damage is just really good. Because the damage reduction you get from here is higher than the damage boost you get from here. And the reload passive, there's literally only 2 characters that have it, and both 2 characters aren't like busted range characters. Like, it does help with like having one range character on your team to get that reload passive. Really does actually help. I would say that one's like probably the 2nd best passive, and then DPS passive is the 3rd best passive in my opinion. But this support passive is slept on, is just not, I would honestly, the support passive might be #1 in my opinion over the tank passive. Just have increased speed of heal is really good over tank ability, because but at the same time, just having better defense is also really good. I think the support passive is #1 or #2. But then we go over to Vine Girl. What will Vine Girl be? She has a good stun. Her range damage is really good. She pops a range move, it does a lot of damage. Problem with her is you have to click the range damage, and it just goes straight on the ground. She has no vertebrae. It's all horizontal. It's all horizontal. No vertical. All horizontal. Nothing. It's all horizontal. Like, that's really bad, especially since her damage is not as good as Shigaraki. But she has the instant revive pass ability, which is really good. You know, having an instant revive is always really good. She can stun lock somebody in the end with certain characters. If she stun locks you, just know if you got grabbed by her, you die. If she's able to get close into you, like if she had a movement ability like a vine swing around the map, and she's able to get close to you quickly, she would instantly get bumped up to SS tier. The reason why is that grab is grotesque. If you have just one teammate, one ranged teammate that has damage, that grab is disgusting. Multiple times, my friend tried to play this character. He played this character. He got the grab off once. We instantly killed someone from full HP because I was playing Todoroki. He got the grab up once. I just shot him, and they just died. It's disgusting. If you get grabbed by her, you lost. You lost. Just know if her teammate's there and you get grabbed by her, you lost. But the thing is, that's if you get grabbed by her. Just don't go closer. Unless you're like forced to get closer, like Ida, you know, Momo, her, like certain characters, you know, are forced, and Oshoka also brings you closer to her. Like certain characters are forced, Suyu, they're forced to get closer. All Might sort of, but like he knocks them away after. So like if you're forced to go closer, it's bad. But most characters aren't forced to go closer. You can actually just range her out, which her damage isn't high enough to justify how hard it stuns you. She has the same problem as Ida. You get hard stun, which is, yeah, that's Sheik's. But anyways, this is the tier list. I have Denki needs buffs, Todoroki and Deku needs nerfs, range attacks need nerfs overall, melee attacks need a buff, or just need to nerf range attacks to the point where they're as weak as melee attacks, because maxed out Ida kicks do 63 while maxed out Bakugo does like 100.